want some pot. I need some pot just to calm me
It's
down.
definitely going in this.
Wow. Head hardened pot. I decided to tell this story because this kind of actually happened to me. I used to be in a band. I used to smoke a fair bit of pot, and one day I just had this complete and utter freak out where I honestly thought I was dying, and I could feel this pins and needles going into my head, my heart, and my balls. It's like they felt like, you know, somebody was jabbing them with a knife. It was actually like, I was like totally freaked out, and like I looked at the curtains that were coming to attack me, and it was almost like an acid trip, and I hadn't done acid, but I assumed that's what an acid trip's like. And so last year when I was looking for something to do in terms of getting behind the camera, a friend of mine suggested I make a short film because he had had great success with a short film, and I thought, well, yeah. He goes, tell the story of Head, Heart, and Balls. It's such a cool story. And I met Eric Kaufman, who had just bought this brand new camera, and he said, hey, I want to do something. I said, dude, let's do a short film. I've got an idea. I showed it to him, he loved it, and basically said, let's do it. And it was perfect because he had the camera, he had the truck, he had a Steadicam, he had a house that we could use, you know, he had a brother that was a gaffer. So, you know,
his roommate was
a sound guy, you know, and he was going to allow us to film there. So it all worked out.
When I read it, I thought it was really funny, and I thought the story was pretty universal, and I felt a lot of similarities between the character Pete and myself, especially with the girl stuff, the love story in it. I felt like that had happened to me. Really, that growing up and becoming a man and kind of taking on responsibilities and confronting your parents on things.
Yeah, I had Paul Weber, our casting director, approached Adam. Adam said yes. I was thrilled because I think he's the right guy to play this part. And he came in and he was perfectly professional and really cool and funny and easy to get along with, and, you know, just a good guy.
I knew he was going to be funny, which he was, and he was throwing out a bunch of improvised lines, and I knew I'd have to keep up with it.
Yeah. I was expecting he'd probably, you know, memorize the lines and just do them. And if he was just to do them as the Adam Carolla that I know from television and radio, I would have been pleased. But he brought so much more to the table. You know, he brought some suggestions, some improv, and just a really good attitude. You know? And like, if you look at the film, I mean, just his like the part when he throws the kind of the arrow thing at him and he laughs. He's very natural there. You know, it's very maniacal.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely jumped into it.
He was into it. This is so amazing. We were going nuts trying to find Woodstock. We looked at all these damn locations, and we realized that our DP's front yard is going to work just as well as Woodstock. It ties in with all the still photographs that we have of Woodstock, and it works perfectly, I think. And cut. That's probably sexier than a lot of love scenes. Well, the beach was kind of our scariest moment.
That was our closest run with the law.
We went to the beach. It was like an empty, I think it was a Saturday morning, but we found a really empty beach. And it went fairly fast, but, you know, suddenly the lifeguard showed up and asked to see our permits, and our very quick-thinking gaffer said that we're making what did he say?
We're making a family reunion film.
Family reunion film. Nobody looks alike.
Yeah, none of us look alike at all. Yeah. Maybe Luke and I, maybe cousins.
Yeah. But you know, the guy said, "Well, okay, guys. Well, next time, make sure you have a permit." You know, he kind of knew we were fools.
Yeah, I think he knew.
So what do you guys think about Asian girls? Screw you guys.
My father wasn't as much of a dick as that guy. You know, that guy in the film, he's like a sergeant almost. You know. James Wellington did a great job, I thought. You know, my parents didn't know what the hell I was doing, you know, wanting a career in music or film. I mean, you know, how are you going to pay the rent, you know, that kind of stuff. Well, you know, I used to be a musician, so I tend to write things about musicians. All my scripts, you know, have sort of a musical element to it, and I don't know, I sort of have the knack for writing sort of pop melodies, and, you know, I've had some success doing that, and, you know, I'm doing this for me, you know, in a sense. I was making a film because I wanted to express myself, so I basically wrote some songs for it, and I was fortunate enough to get a very cool band out of England, out of Liverpool, called Focal Point, to record the songs and use them in the film. All of the stuff in the film, I mean, you write what you know, so most of the stuff in the film has some personal connection, for sure.
Let's make love, come and hold me tight, for the world to see.
Hey, I know where to find you, jackass.